kept you waiting, So it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. About a year and a bit since the last video came out. And if you've been waiting for more, I just want to say thank you. And I'm sorry that I just stopped out of nowhere. But now I feel, you know, like an anime protagonist, back from a time skip, stronger than ever. I'm ready to take on the world. I hope that I can continue to make more videos for you. If it's your first time watching, welcome to ScreenToTable, which is a little series I do where I use video games, TVs, movies, etc. as a direct inspiration for game mechanics and narrative hooks in your tabletop RPGs at home. And today we're going to talk about the main man himself, Nintendo's poster child, the Super Mario Man. Specifically Super Mario 64, which is the first time we were allowed to control Mario in the third dimension. So as the man himself would say, let's go. And so in this game, you start running around Peach's castle, which you're invited for tea or something. And then wham, out of nowhere, Bowser just hits you up with a ha ha ha, I'm the baddie. I have taken over this place. Princess Peach is, I've stolen her. I took her. I literally just picked her up and took her. And so you go into the castle and then you end up seeing a painting. And because your name is Jump Man, you decide to jump, man. And then you are in another world after that. You jump straight into the painting, and then you find yourself inside a painting world, and it's living. There's people in here, there's creatures, there's guys, there's adventure to be had. And you do this over and over again for the rest of the game. That's what I want to steal for you today, the core level design of Super Mario 64, where you have a hub world of Peach's castle, and you just jump into the paintings to go into smaller, confined worlds. We're just going to rip off our plumbing friend here, alright? So, I hope you're alright with that. I'm just going to put my hat on the Pikachu, so it kind of makes sense for the theming of the video, if that's okay. There we go, looks alright. It's going to be a terrible video. I'll set up a scenario for you here. The party wake up in their campsite after a long and comfortable night's sleep. The wizard checks their belongings and notices that they have something that they've never noticed before. A mysterious letter with the head of a dragon on the seal. We wish to invite you as our esteemed guest to our great manor. We have a collection of fine art that we are dying for you to see. When the full moon appears, you will know the way there. And hopefully your players are hungry for adventure, so they follow the clues, they follow the tracks, they follow whatever to get themselves to this manor. How do they get themselves to this manor? Where is this manor? I'll let you decide that one. But personally, I'm a big fan of it being in like another plane of existence, or like a pocket dimension, somewhere that's like not of this world, somewhere it's a bit strange and supernatural. So you did all that, and when you get to the manor, the place seems to be empty of residents, of anyone living there. All you notice are these strange paintings around the place, around the different rooms. Maybe they're set up like an art exhibit, maybe they're just in the rooms. So I guess you can kind of get what I'm coming across here. You have a hub world, you have a hub place, a la Peach's Castle, where your party explores and finds all the clues for the main story, I guess. Around the place, you have either paintings or anything else. I like to go with paintings because we're sticking with the theme of Mario 64 here. You have paintings that your party jumps into and goes into these smaller worlds. So we need some mini worlds then. Let's try and populate ourselves with it. And I think this time you can kind of really stretch your DM chops. You can really kind of use all those fun ideas that you've had that maybe have been a bit too... you know, you never know how to put them into your games before. You never know how to naturally put them in there. Maybe they're too strange and weird. Well, this is a great time for you to start putting them in. This is a great excuse for you to use these different ideas for your D&D games. But how about we start with some Mario 64 examples? You're transported to a great battlefield, the heart of a great war. You fight your way through the chaos and you find yourself on the top of a hill where you will meet a power-hungry, explosive-loving warlord. Bob-omb battlefield. You swim into a ravine where you must evade massive sea monsters, where you'll find a sunken pirate ship holding a great treasure, Jolly Roger Bay. You fight your way through a chaotic inner civilization inside a gargantuan grandfather clock, Tick-Tock clock. Haunted house, lava world, snow world, sandy worlds. Super Mario 64 has every kind of world you can ask for, so there's definitely a world that you can pick and throw into your game. You can easily take your favorite world from any Mario game, not just 64, and put it under the D&D microscope and kind of dissect it and put it into the game that you want to do. So you can ask yourself, what's the theme of this world? What kind of setting is it? What are the challenges in this world? Who are the quirky characters that live here? Mario games are completely different to tabletop role-playing games. So I understand that you won't be taking like the platform puzzles and stuff like that, but it's worth looking at what makes these worlds memorable in the first place. And it's worth looking at just the game design and the level design and what you remember from them. The Mario games are beloved by all, and it's great to kind of, use that as fuel for how you will craft a level yourself. Of course, you're never going to use exactly how it is because you might have a different kind of field than a Mario game, but it's worth looking at. It's worth looking at all parts of media so you can kind of maybe come across something that you like. But I hear you yell from your rooms, Mikey, my game's more of a delve into the futility of man and the futility of civilization. Mario doesn't suit the theme of my games. Well, hold your proverbial horses there, buddy, because I have another example for you. It's from a little game called Dark Souls. Dark Souls. Part of me always thinks that Dark Souls has like a Resident Evil intro, but it doesn't.
Mario 64 is like Dark Souls and Mario's.
Brightness, could you stop? Thank you. So if you're not familiar with Dark Souls, I'll just say it to you right now. We'll just kind of touch upon the subject. I'll be very brief about it. This ain't no Dark Souls lore channel, so I don't really know. But there is a painting in the middle of Anor Londo, which is in an area in the game. A big, huge painting. And you can enter it and be transported to another world if you have a certain key item called the peculiar doll. And the name of this new location is called the Painted World of Ariamus. Because in Dark Souls, the world's kind of bad, and it's kind of messed up. No one wants to live there. It's implied in game that people escaped their life in the real world and escaped into the painting. So people like to go into these paintings and kind of escape it. The boss of this world is Crossbreed Priscilla, which in D&D terminology, she would be a half-dragon. It's kind of frowned upon to be half-dragon because mortals and dragons were kind of at each other's throats for a while. And you're considered an abomination according to the world of Dark Souls. Once again, I won't go into detail of why, but it's implied in game from like item description and stuff that she escaped into the Painted World of Ariamus because she wanted to be, she didn't want to be considered an abomination. So you can have these painted mini worlds be somewhere where sometimes people escape to them. They just want to escape their everyday life. Maybe this outsider, this creature, this figure who is inviting everyone to these see these paintings in your D&D game. Maybe other guests before your players have liked them so much that they decided to stay in these paintings for the rest of their lives because they're just so much better than the life that they live right now. Like in Dark Souls, it's implied. I'm pretty sure that the paintings are made by another entity altogether. Some person, some figure in the lore made them, made these worlds, and that's where I kind of get the cool idea of in your games using having them be made by something. But we'll get to that. So back to our own suggestion here. For we're going to talk about the owner of this mansion. I like to think he's some sort of outsider, and an outsider in D&D terms is someone who is not native of the material plane, which is, I guess, here. Here's material plane. So it could be like a god, a demon, a devil, a fiend, some sort of cosmic entity beyond our understanding, just lots of ideas, so you can kind of go with that. For sake of example, let's make a lesser god. I'll make one up real quick. Flair, the god of art. And because they're a god, any painting they create will become a portal to another world. Like, of course, a god of art would be able to make something so great that it's another world in itself. But maybe they got so bored with creating things for no audience. So they started inviting some mortalos. What are mortalos? Maybe they're so bored with creating things for no audience that they decide to start inviting people to see them. Maybe there's something more sinister going on, like Flair is starting to enjoy the mortals' struggle for their lives inside their world and start to like them being in pain. Or if you want to keep the god more neutral or good, maybe a powerful baddie team have made their home in this new manor somehow, and they are trying to take over these little mini worlds themselves. So you're working alongside Flair to get these worlds back and defeat the baddies. And whichever way you go with it, you're going to be hopping from world to world to world and defeating whatever baddie that's in there and beating whatever task is in there and then just having fun all the time. I'm going to finish with this video by giving you one last world idea. A huge mountain where your players are going to start like halfway up the mountain and they can't even see the bottom of the mountain. And inside the mountains is like a series of tunnels and civilizations and settlements. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to just say dwarves created them. There's dwarves in there. Well, if we're going with the point of the god Flare made this entire thing, then Flare made the world. It's actually in the narrative world, the dwarves made it. So wait, in the narrative of this world, the dwarves made it, but Flare made the narrative, and Flare made the dwarves, but the dwarves think they made it, and things are getting a very high concept now, but I think you guys can get what I'm trying to get here. The point is, inside the mountain there's dwarves, and it's the home of dwarves, and on the summit of the mountain lives a huge dragon. And this dragon wants to take over the mountain. So he's on top of the mountain, taking down anyone who's around the mountain. He's going to send his minions inside the mountain, maybe kobolds or something, to try and take the dwarves out. Who will win? The Team Dragon or Team Dwarves? What are your players going to do about that? Well, that's just an adventure hook. That's a setting idea. Let's see what you guys do with that one. Let me know what you do with that if you decide to use it. Please, I would love to hear. Well, folks, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. I hope to be back with a new video sooner rather than later. I don't want a year-long wait again. Like right now, I'm in the process of working on new videos. I have 2 more script ideas I want to do with this, and I want to go back and kind of reiterate on older videos, like the Metal Gear Solid one. I want to do a follow-up video on that, and go more on about Zelda as well. So we're going to do a bunch of things with this one. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I have more videos here. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.